Okay, welcome to the Design Review Committee meeting. If you'd be kind enough to join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we have a short calendar today, so I don't think I'm going to go through the whole litany of these, hear the first item first and so forth. But I will mention that the agenda has been posted at City Hall, at the Crowell Public Library, the Recreation Department, and it's also on the city website. With regard to the application that's submitted, we would ask for the applicant or their representative to step forward, either gives a very brief presentation or just be available to answer questions. We would then ask if anyone in the audience wishes to speak for, against, or without the proposal. And once the public aspect of the hearing is closed, we would then circulate amongst the committee members to determine their points of view and what they feel about the application. If it is approved, it is then the application itself and any conditions appended there to becomes the law of the project, and no variance of what's on the application conditions will be allowed, and there are severe penalties for varying from the approved application. At this point, I'd like to ask if anyone here would like to make a public comment on something that's not on the agenda. I'm not seeing anyone raise their hand. Let's turn to the first item on the agenda. We have staff report, please.
Thank you, Chair. Item number 1 is design review case number DRC 18-50, located at 2915 Wallingford Road. The applicant proposes to construct a street-facing side yard fence with a driveway gate and 2 pedestrian gates. The project also includes the replacement of the front entry door. Staff finds that the front entry door design selection is overly ornate and is not compatible with the minimal traditional ranch style of the home. Although the natural wood material is a desirable element, the use of leaded glass and overall design is inconsistent with the home. With respect to the proposed fencing and gates, staff observed what is defined as a subject block, which only includes the adjacent property at 2870 Canterbury Road. And there is comparable existing fencing on the neighboring property, and staff is able to make the findings that the proposed fence would be compatible on the subject property with the condition of approval that the proposed plantings match the height of the fence in order to soften the appearance of the fence along Palomar Road. This concludes the staff report. Thank you.
Any questions of staff? Okay, not seeing any. Is the applicant or applicant's representative present? Would you just like to be available to step up to the microphone and make a presentation or answer questions? It's your choice. Yeah, right here. Just give your name and address, please.
Joanna Chang, I'm the owner of 2915 Wallingford Road, and
Thank you. You want to be available to answer questions? Or you want to give a little presentation? It's up to you. We've all seen the project.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can answer the question.
Okay. All right. Any questions of the applicant after looking at the application? Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I just have a very quick question. When it comes to what you're trying to achieve, can you kind of just share with us a little bit about what you're hoping this project would do for you? Is it privacy? Is it to create a side yard that would be more enclosed so that you have more seclusion? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, I want more privacy. And also, I have a problem with the trash can because when I put a trash can on my driveway, and they told me it has to put it inside of the fence. But my backyard fence, in the very deep in the yard, so I have to put it in my backyard. So that's why I want to build a fence a little bit front. So first, for the more privacy. Second is to solve my trash can problem. So the fence can cover my trash can.
questions? Okay, not seeing any, to close the public aspect of the hearing. You can have a seat if you
Oh,
like.
okay.
Sure. We'll begin with Chris. Chris, do you have some thoughts on this project?
Yeah, I think having seen some of the notes from the neighbors and also having driven around the property myself and taken a look and walked around it as well, I think that what the owner's trying to achieve could be achieved perhaps with a slightly less tall fence, being that the owner already wants to plant shrubs in front of it. Perhaps maybe not something so large would work. And I think that the door, it is reasonable to change to a different door, but I think that the door that they have proposed currently is a little bit too ornate for the style of the home that's existing.
Thank you. Judy?
Yes, I would concur pretty much with what's been said. I feel that there is a house, as you've spoken about, and staff has, that's approved in a similar way right next to it. But the big difference to me is how many linear feet this project has. So as it relates to the gate, I'm not opposed to having more privacy and adding a pedestrian and a vehicular gate and adding some type of a fencing material. But I do think that 6 feet just seems extraordinarily tall, even if you have planting material in it, because it's such a long stretch of street. I'm not proposing that we're not going to approve it this evening necessarily. I just think it's a lot to look at, and some of the neighbors are concerned about that. As it relates to the front door, I too agree that you should be able to change your front door, but the style that you've chosen isn't really compatible with the house or in the neighborhood. And I too would recommend a solid room door or a door that just has one opening in it as opposed to all the side lights and the stained glass.
Thank you. Kevin?
I also agree with most of the comments. However, specifically with the wall that's proposed to be installed, I feel like it would change the overall streetscape of the street and the neighborhood. I think if the proposal was to install a shortened wall and not as long and linear in length, perhaps up to where the back door is, and not for the whole frontage of the home, but more almost like half of the home, I feel like it'd be a little more compatible with the neighborhood, given the adjacent neighbor who has a similar wall. As far as the front door is concerned, I feel like it's also not a good match for the home and not compatible with the home. I feel like something, given the notice of the glazing on the home has been replaced relatively recently with non-divided lights. I think something similar would, maybe in a frosted finish, would be more compatible, but what's been proposed, I don't feel like that will work. So at this time, I cannot support the project.
Thank you, Joyce.
Yes, I too believe that this project has some issues, a few issues. There are many issues with compatibility, as my colleagues have already said. The proposed front door, unfortunately, is a different style than that of the house, so it is not compatible with the existing structure. And I realize that you're going for a more modern look, and I know that we're not the design committee, we're the design review committee, but I would say that I think that it is achievable to get what I imagine you're looking for, which is a more modern look. It's just not this look. As far as the fencing is proposed, I also really can't come up with the findings that this is compatible with the neighborhood. I think that, I looked at the neighborhood very carefully and found it to be a very open neighborhood. It's very quiet, it's maintained a very open feel to it that our design guidelines encourage, and to introduce this walled off effect would be, I think, detract from the neighborhood and from the neighboring homes, and I think would create a kind of, well, as an aside, I think it could create a domino effect as well, as it always does. On top of that, the fencing that is proposed is quite expensive compared to the neighboring home, which I also don't think is a really good example, but if you're going to use that as an example, this is really very long. I think I counted 70, 90 feet or something. I think in total it's like 100 feet. I'm not sure if any wall would really be appropriate, but it would have to be a much smaller, much less lengthy fence, not wall, fence, in order to even, I think, be considered to be compatible. So unfortunately, I don't think this fits in the neighborhood. I see in the drawings that the applicant proposes substantial shrubbery in front of the proposed fencing. So, you know, again, we're not the design committee, we're the design review committee, I realize that, but I'm guessing that the applicant has confirmed that privacy is the main objective, and, you know, simply eliminating the fence from your plan would actually, I believe, achieve the privacy that you seek. And as far as the trash cans go, that should be easily solved. The Athens Services will go anywhere on your property and get your trash cans. You just can't put them like visible from the sidewalk. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Ben?
I find that this fence in itself is compatible to the house in style and to the neighborhood. I believe that the gate is too close to the sidewalk. It only has 13 feet, basically 8 inches from the face of the curb. So when you drive in, the car is in the street when it's waiting for the gate to open. So the adjacent property to the north, it has the minimum distance from the sidewalk is 5 feet, not 20 inches. And with a walk-in gate, that would give it ample room to put a walk-in gate without taking out any shrubs for the privacy of the neighbor on the north. I would also think that this fence is too long. It probably would be more appropriate to end it at the side door where the house juts out about a foot or so. So it wouldn't be quite as far. As far as the front door is concerned, I think I concur that it is very ornate to this particular house. If you drive around the neighborhood, similar style houses have also side lights. However, it's more ranch style, which is the upper half is window and the bottom half is panel on the side lights. So if they would drive around and take, like on Lombardi Road, 2750, 2670, 2595 Lombardi, all those houses are a good example of what a front door of this caliber would look like. So I could not approve this application.
Yeah, and for the reasons stated without repeating everything, this is an open ranch-style neighborhood, and this fencing is totally incompatible with that. And the door equally is incompatible as well. And this is not the kind of thing that can be altered by way of a condition. So I would be in favor of denying this application. Do we have a motion?
Can I just ask a question? In terms of denying this, they would have to reapply with a new design and a new front door. Staff, what's the cost of that?
The fees will be $350.
Versus if we were to do a continuance with the stipulation that we would only view this if they changed their front door product and shortened and lessened the height if the homeowner were okay with that. I think the question would be is if the homeowner were okay with those 3 stipulations, would we be open to hearing this again, or as a body would we not be interested in hearing that?
Yeah, well, my philosophy is if it misses substantially, it's denial time. And not condition time. Condition is when you're very close and there's a couple of tweaks that have to be made. But that's my philosophy, it may not be others.
I would just comment, if I can comment.
Of course.
Discussing, I don't know if we're discussing.
Sure.
From what I understand from my colleagues, the consensus is that this misses the mark on several notes and not, as you pointed out, not, it's mostly okay except for this one thing, and it seems like this is a lot to say. We're really rejecting the entire project, by my understanding, by listening to my colleagues. I personally don't think a continuance would be reasonable. I think people who come and don't hit at least most of our design guidelines and don't allow us to make the findings, need to come up with a new product, a new I don't know, it's not thousands of dollars, I realize that it is money, but it's also time.
Well, yeah, if you want, yeah.
I hear you, and I appreciate that. I think that, my point of view is that the three things they're asking for is the ability to change the front door. We are all in consensus that if it was a different door, we concur that they have the right to change the door. The next thing is they would like to have a vehicular gate, a pedestrian gate, and a fence. I think all of us have felt that that is okay too, if submitted with the right size and materials and safety considerations. So for me, it isn't a denial, because I do believe that if they were to end the gate around the porch, which I believe three of us said we concurred with that thinking, put shrubbery in front of it and maybe lessen the height from 6 to 5 feet and brought a different door, I would be okay with approving all of this. Again, I would want to see that, so it would be a continuance, but there's nothing in here that I disagree with. They're not trying to build a pop-up. They're not trying to do an accessory dwelling that's inappropriate. It's a fence, a vehicular gate, a pedestrian gate, and a door. And I conceptually am okay with all of those. It's just they need to make improvements.
Yeah, I'm not exactly thrilled with the 6-foot fence either. Let me just, I'll be the one then. I'll move to deny DRC 18-50. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Why don't we take a roll call?
Committee Member Beckett,
Yes.
Committee Member Vice Chair Chang,
No.
Committee Member Johnson Bodie,
No.
Committee Member Huang,
Yes.
Chair Bodie,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay. The application is denied. Okay, let's move on to item number 2, which is the consideration of Decor roofing products for the pre-approved roof materials, colors, and application list. Be inspected for that, please.
Thank you, Chair. This is a request from the product manufacturer's representative, whom is here tonight in the audience, and he is requesting that the committee consider 2 products from the Decra Steel Roofing Company. The 2 specific products are Decra Shake and Decra Shake XD. Only the Decra Shake has been approved by a different DRC body in 2014 and 2015, and that product is installed at 2 different locations in the city. The representative provided addresses of the Decra Shake XD product in the city of Pasadena for your consideration, and he's available for any question, and he will provide a background of the material and the company to you tonight. Thank you.
Do we have any questions of staff?
So I'll ask the first question. So both are metal roofing products, right? The Shake XD and the Shake are both metal products.
Correct.
Okay. That's it.
Any other questions of staff?
A good one. In terms of this product being brought before a DRC and being turned down, being denied, are there any staff report things that you can share with us of what those denials were for and the reasons? On individual properties, I understand not necessarily as a product on the approved list, but for individual projects, besides the 2 that you shared with us that we viewed in the city of San Marino, were there others that were denied, and if so, is there any recall on why?
For this particular Decra product,
Yes.
the staff report procedure started, I believe, in 2016 or 16, I believe. So the product that was considered by the prior DRC committee, the committee were not provided with staff report. I was able to reference prior meeting minutes and concluded that the one time that this product was denied was because neighboring roofs were mostly natural wood material, and this particular metal roofing material will not be compatible with the neighborhood, and that was the reason it was denied.
And then one clarification point also, when something gets onto the approved list, unless it's conditioned, it's able to be used on any architectural style, correct?
Correct.
So if it was conditioned, we would say, for example, this product could be approved for the following usages, but not on a Mediterranean or a French house, for example.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, is the applicant or roofing representative present?
Yeah.
We have the brochures. Do you have more brochures or what?
You guys all have your packages I dropped off earlier in the week? Or last week?
We have the,
Okay.
yeah, we have both.
I've been before the board years ago. I worked for a Gerard roofing manufacturer, which was a stone covered steel product too. I don't think I need the mic. I've been working in the roofing business for 38 years. I've been around a long time. I've seen all kinds of products come and go. When it got denied before when I was here, it didn't fit the look. Is why stone covered steel, I think I've been to 3 meetings, hasn't been approved because of the look. What's happening and why I'm here now is because the building department crossed paths with one of our suppliers, and they were asking about, gosh, we need other products. We're running out of products. Everything started to look the same. Everyone's putting Cedarlight on. What I've seen happen here through the years is the focus has been purely appearance. And today, if that is still the thing, you're going to find other products that look more like wood shake. It won't be here in 10 or 12 years because they're made of synthetics or fibers or something else because all of those have failed. But that's what's going to happen. This product has been on the market now for 60 years. It's been in California since 1978. I've been working with it since 1980. It's a proven product. It isn't the best looking shake on the market. It's not. But if you deal with wind, rain, fire, and earthquake, it is the best product. It has a 50-year appearance warranty. It doesn't break or crack. It's 1.5 pounds a square foot. It's super lightweight. It's manufactured in Malaysia, Hungary, New Zealand, and Corona. It's a very proven product. It's been around a long time. It's very proven. I don't know if you guys saw the boxes I brought. I brought some full samples too. The XD, the Shake XD, goes direct to deck. Goes right on the plywood. Okay. And we have different types of side trims. I know that's a concern here too, how the gables looks and the rakes look. So there is a trim to keep it square like your shake roof has. So that's an option with this. There is a little stagger to it. You really don't see it here. I also have some bigger pictures I'll show you. I don't know if you guys want to pass that around.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. So there's 7 coatings that go on it. It's a Galvalume metal. It's not galvanized, it's Galvalume. The final coating is a pure acrylic glaze that goes over the granules, and that's what gives it its protection. I'm going to show you all these pictures, but I'll show you some. This is an XD. It's used all over the Hawaiian Islands because it's made for high winds. But you can see there's a two-tone. All the products, no matter which color you choose, have a two-tone to it. They're not a solid. They all have a two-tone. That's the XD. This one is the Shake, and that goes on a batten, a 2x2 batten. Roof gets torn off. This roof, from day one, was brought out and replaced wood shake roofs. That's what it was used for, to replace wood shake. Very lightweight, extremely fire safe. Actually, I have a picture here of a wood shake next to a charcoal steel. There were a couple addresses. We warranty all of our roofs based on proof of purchase and the owner. We sell through distribution. So when they were asking for a list of homes, I know guys that have done a ton of these roofs in the area. Like the XD, Lansford Roofing has probably done around this area over the years, probably 50 or 100 roofs with the XD. But I don't know where they are, because you don't have to file a warranty to have a warranty. As long as you have a proof of purchase, the roof's warranty, because we sell through distribution. But that's the Shake. next to the old shake. This is another picture of a shake. It resembles more of a concrete or a little bit of shake. It matters how the sun hits it, but it is a permanent system.
Can we see that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I used to have a roofing company. I had it for 15 years, and I did all kinds of products. You name it, I've dealt with it. Today, metal roofing is the fastest growing product in the United States because life cycle costs, it's the last roof you put on. Your schools, hospitals, fire stations around the United States, all over California, they're all going to metal. Standing seam or stone-covered steel. Because of its longevity. The thatched roof that was on the Polynesian Culture Center in Hawaii, that was on there for over 100 years. They replaced it with the steel. They spent over 2 years looking at what to replace it with. What they wanted is something they didn't have to deal with later. I can't imagine the amount of homes that are in the area right now that have had roofs put on that are no longer in business. It's a great fire picture I have. Those yellow dots are all metal roofs that saved these homes, or helped save the homes, in the Cedar Fire in San Diego. Fire came from this direction, 8 o'clock in the morning. Every single fire in California, even the Paradise Fire that I drove through over the holidays because I have relatives up there, every single fire, the Malibu Fire, the Oakland Fire in the 80s, there's always homes left with metal roofs because the roof protects the house. Fires might come through other areas, but it's not coming through the metal roof. It's extremely fire safe. The batten profile, this one you're looking at right here, that batten profile, outside the United States, they do not require an underlayment on that roof. No underlayment. It's a water on top system.
You install?
No, I'm a manufacturer right now.
Okay.
So there are guys right in this area that install, that have been doing our product for some of them for over 30 years. So
I noticed that on all the brochures you've handed out, there's no stagger on.
no, the closest thing to a stagger is the XD one that just has the little step down in it. It's not a stagger. No, it's not. And I know it's, you guys are in a tough position because you really want to keep that shake look. But the more you can take something and make it into look like shake, the higher the chances in 10 years it won't be here. It's just the way it is. You can't take cement and fibers and plastics and put them out in the ultraviolet sun. You just, in the rays, it deteriorates. And another reason why metal roofing is booming. It's a locally made product here in Corona, and it has a lot of other benefits that maybe concern you or not. You can drink the water that comes off it. It's got approval for that, which in some areas where this is used around the world, that's necessary. 120 mile an hour wind warranty for 50 years. First 20 years, it's non-prorated. So we cover 100% for the first 20 years, and it's 2% a year. Earthquake-wise, because it's only 1.5 pounds a square foot, it's very light on the roof, which really helps in earthquakes. It's one of the safest roof earthquakes. Other things are appearance. It's not painted and has a pure acrylic glaze over the top, so it comes with appearance warranty. So, ask me some questions. What are your guys' biggest concerns?
Okay. I don't think anyone's asking anything. Anyone?
You gotta ask me something.
Okay. Well, anyone here want to speak about the project? I don't see any hands raising either. All right. Let's close the public aspect of the hearing. I think we'll start with Judy. What's your thought on this, Judy?
Sure. I have voiced numerous times that, in the age that we live in, and shake not really being something that homeowners want, and the area and all of us don't want to have necessarily added to homes, and sustainability being a factor, and the durability long-term in an area that can be very hot for months on end each year. We definitely need more products on an approved list. I have been skeptical and have turned down a number of products because I don't think they meet the standards of the city. But I will tell you, when I drove around the properties, I was surprised because I thought that the product looked better than I anticipated it would from looking at the brochure and envisioning another steel product, because we have seen a number of them. So what I would say in driving around and looking at these neighborhoods in particular, there are many
homes that had alternative roofs to shake that looked really bad, and these, therefore, against those, even looked better. So, to my surprise, I am actually okay as long as we would condition the colors, 'cause I don't want to see green popping up. I think there's a chestnut and there's a gray, and those for the appropriate homes would probably be fine with each neighborhood. Green would not be necessarily that be selected. And I think that there are certain types of architecture that it doesn't go with. So I'm open for discussion, consideration, and conditions against that consideration.
Kevin?
After visiting the homes that the product was installed on, I would say, and I agree with Judy, that the material does look better than what other steel manufactured materials we see with its Tilcor typically. So I think it is a better looking product, yet I still am under the impression that specific for these metal roofs, I feel like they apply to only certain architecture, and to even condition it upon a ranch-style home in San Marino that would qualify with a certain pitch or with a certain square footage of roof. I still think there's neighborhoods in this city that are all ranch-style homes, and if they were all to have the same steel roof, then I think there would be an issue, because they all look the same exactly, and they're very monotonous, and I think that would be an issue. But I don't have any issues with the product itself, and I do feel like it's a better looking product, yet unless it's very specific as to what we are recommending to Planning Commission to review, meaning that we select literally a pitch of a roof, look, a style of architecture, and even color, I wouldn't be able to support recommending it. I think it still requires a design review.
Thank you. Joyce?
Yeah, committee member Chang just said exactly everything that I wanted to say that I would have said, and I echo both of my colleagues that I was surprised at how much better it looked than I expected. I guess we all have our biases, and perhaps that was mine. But yeah, it looked better than I expected, and I think, if people come and want to ask for exceptions and for low pitched roof maybe, perhaps it would be worth consideration on the design review. But I wouldn't be sending this to Planning Commission to approve. But and by the way, you gave a very thorough and good presentation, and I appreciate that too. But yeah, at this time I wouldn't be recommending it for approval from Planning Commission.
Thank you. Chris?
Yeah, I agree with mostly what's been said, and I agree with Howard too, where the only material that looks like it's a little bit staggered is the Decra Shake XD. I think that one looks probably a little more applicable in more instances, but it does look good on some homes, and some homes I could see it looking not so great. But I do think that it's a good product for its durability. I think normal shake cracks very easily if you have to do any service on roofs. So I do think the city does need more metal products, but I'm not sure I'll be able to recommend this to planning for further looking into. I think each one will need to be examined on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, thank you. Ben, your thoughts?
I could see applications where this could be applied, but to be on the pre-approved list, I would have to say no. It would be on a case-by-case basis. Every roof is different in San Marino, and style is different. So I would say just not to have it on the pre-approved list at this point, but do it on a case-by-case basis as it comes through.
Yeah, I concur with that. My thought is that it doesn't replicate the typical shake roof. There's no stagger to it, which really bothers me. But I could see it being employed on a on a particular style home, but not on a blanket basis. So I think I'm sharing a lot of the comments that I've already heard. So do we have a motion to not recommend the Decra metal roofing to the planning commission?
I'll make a motion that we don't make the recommendation to planning commission at this time for this product.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, can we have a roll call?
Commissioner Bagnich,
Yes.
Vice Chair Chang,
Yes.
Committee Member Johnson Bodie,
Yes.
Committee Member Huang,
Yes.
Chair Bodie,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we're reaching the approval of the minutes for December 19th and January 2nd. January 2nd.
I didn't see any issues.
Any issues, folks? I'd like to make a motion on that.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that the minutes from both the December 19th, 2018 and January 2nd, 2019 meetings be approved as is.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I don't think we're unanimous on that. Okay, I think we're at the end now. If anyone here for the open forum, just raise your hand. No one's raising their hand. We have no open forum tonight, so short meeting. Thank you very much for coming.